Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Steve's Wrestling Ramble. This week we'll be doing predictions for Clash of Champions, no longer called Night of Champions because, WWE, they want to shake things up, and by shaking things up, they changed the name of the show to a pay-per-view that used to be called Clash of the Champions in WCW. Mick Foley did not get the memo yet that it's Clash of Champions, but I'm sure at some point he will. He'll probably get it 2 weeks after the pay-per-view is already over, but that's okay for him. Anyways, Clash of Champions predictions. I have two awesome guests tonight. First off, I would say the guy who's living on cloud nine this week, Michael of Raunchy Mikey, the winner, undisputed champion, and the winner of Elena Nicole's contest to be the co-host. As you guys know, my fans here, I entered. I put my hat in the ring. But as I even said last week in my message to Elena, quote unquote, that I knew that there was a reason Michael of Raunchy Mikey was the front runner from get go, was going to be picked to be your co-host because he is that damn good. He is the best in the business right now, best for business for her show. Um, I mean, you'll see when he starts talking, his setup, his stuff. He's on point. His videos are lit. His videos are awesome. He knows what he's doing. There's a reason why he was picked. So congratulations to Michael of Raunchy Mikey being selected. He should do good things over there. He's going to give my show, he's going to give my other show, Talking WWHA, that I'm part of, a run for our money. But that's fine because he's going to do him. So let's welcome to the show, Michael of Raunchy Mikey. How you doing?
Good, man. Thank you so much for those kind words. I truly appreciate it. I'm doing fantastic, man. And I'm really happy that I was chosen. I know you were in it too. You had a fantastic audition video. But yeah, I didn't expect to be chosen. And I'm extremely happy, and I can't wait for that come October 3rd. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes, and you'll have a supporter in me always. I mean, I might have
Absolutely,
lost,
man.
but I respect the process and I respect her decision because, like I said, you're well deserving. It's not like you're not. Of course, there's a reason why you're at 1K, and there's a reason why I'm trying to get to 1K. I'm trying to be Raunchy Mikey, and slowly but surely, hopefully I can be because his stuff he does, whether it's reactions, whether now he has raw review. He had a raw review on his video for this past week, and then in 2 weeks he's going to be on the show officially for a raw review. So he's sky's the limit for Michael. But I wanted to start this episode with Michael by himself because Mark of Mark Rambo TV will be a little bit late joining us tonight, and I do apologize for that because usually he is here and he usually is prompt like he was last week. But I want to do a little impromptu interview with Michael and ask him a couple of questions and then see where it takes us. This is Steve's Wrestling Ramble. We can go anywhere. It doesn't have to be just wrestling. He might ask me questions back. We'll see. But the first question to ask you, Michael, there, with the little smirk on your face, who is your favorite WWE superstar of all time? And
Of
also, who is your current favorite WWE superstar on the roster?
of all time, it'd have to be The Rock. And currently at the moment, it is Seth Rollins, CrossFit Jesus. Definitely.
Cool, cool. And for me, as I said last week, for me, all-time WWE superstar is The Undertaker. And current WWE superstar is the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. It'd be my favorites. The Rock, Triple H, Austin, all of them from the Attitude Era, from my era, as a '90s kid, from my generation,
Absolutely.
um,
Yep.
being the best era in sports entertainment in WWE.
Damn right.
My next question for you, Michael: when did you start your YouTube channel? And when you started your YouTube channel, what was your vision for your channel at that time?
Oh man, honestly, I started May 1st of this year my YouTube channel, and now I'm at over 1,000, which is pretty incredible. But I literally started the channel just started doing a little reactions, movie trailer reactions,
Right.
and I just got 40, 50 views here and there. I did one trailer for Don't Breathe that hit 100, then did another trailer review for a foreign film that hit over 400. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Holy crap. And then I stopped putting up reactions for a while. And then I watched Extreme Rules 2016, WWE. And when Seth Rollins returned, I recorded that whole event, the whole entire event. And I freaked out so bad, I just lost my mind. I was so excited to see Seth Rollins' pedigree, Roman Reigns, because I was so pissed off when Roman Reigns beat AJ Styles, because I really thought AJ Styles deserved that win after all the hard work he's put in so short of a time since Royal Rumble when he debuted. Um, But yeah, that reaction was my favorite reactions I've done, and that was my first WWE reaction on YouTube. And when I saw all the positive feedback from that and the hits I got, now it's at about almost 50,000 hits, I believe. And I got all those reactions, and I was like, you know what? Let me just continue doing this. Let me see where this can go. And I just kept on doing reactions. And first, it was kind of weird, camera staring at me and everything, but it's just there. I don't even think it's there anymore. You know what I mean? So I just keep on going and going, and that's where I'm at right now. And I hit over 1,000 subscribers, which I did not think was going to happen. And I have a fantastic fan base. I love them all.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like I said before, well deserved to get for you to get to 1K. Right
I
now I'm
appreciate
sitting
it.
at 82. Mark Rambo 2E is at 991, so he only needs nine more for 1K for himself. And as I said last week and other times, for me, I want to grow my audience. I want to have 1K, 5K, 10K, and then all the way up to 1 million. Not just for the number, not just for notoriety and fanfare and fame. But in all honesty, I want to be able to have people join in the conversation, talk pro wrestling, have other fans of TV shows that I like Modern Family and formerly Glee and other stuff that I watched.
Oh, you used to watch Glee? I used to watch that. I used to enjoy the hell out of that show, but for some reason I fell out, but I did really enjoy that show back then.
To be quite honest, sometimes songs that I listen to, I like the Glee version better than the original version.
I 100% agree with you on that one.
Like,
I agree.
I don't know if you remember the Glee version, but of the song Telephone,
Oh,
Lady
yeah,
Gaga
absolutely.
Telephone, I think I
Absolutely.
actually like the Glee version over Lady Gaga
I agree. I
for that
agree.
one.
They do a lot of great renditions, and it is better than the originals. Some of them, definitely.
And like another song, Losing My Religion by the late Corey Monteith.
Yep, absolutely.
When he did that in I think it was season one. That song better than the original artist. So TV shows. So whatever I'm talking about on my channel, Gravity Falls, I did videos. Big Bang Theory, I hope to do some videos here because it might be the final season. And there's new shows that I like, so I might be doing that. And if I had the capability like Michael does, I actually would do more live reactions of things, but I don't have that yet. And with the low budget, quote unquote, having just me, myself, and I, one man band, and my camera here on my laptop, it doesn't make for. I tried it once with a raw one, and it didn't go over as well as I thought it would. So maybe in the future we'll see how things go. How if I'm able to get the necessary dinero that I need to be able to do something like that. That would be it'd be muy excelente for me to do that. But we'll certainly see how things go. Next question for Michael here as we wait for Rambos to actually get this episode revved up, so to speak, and started. Michael, and I'm gonna put you on the spot here
Yep,
just to be a jabroni.
let's
But
do it.
when you first saw anything on my channel, I don't know if you have because you've been a busy man even before winning the contest and everything with your own channel. Um, what were your overall thoughts? And it's fine to be 100% honest. I mean, I have people DMing me talking about being on.
Honestly, completely. I think you're very knowledgeable. You are really good. You're a really good talker, and I don't think you give yourself much credit for it. I believe you are really good at this, and I believe you do deserve more subscribers. And I do not know why you're only at the sub count you are at right now because you give actual explanations. You go deep in detail when other people just say, "Oh, this match was good. Oh, this match sucked. Let's go on to the next one." You actually give deep details on why you didn't like what you didn't like or why you liked what you did like. And I really think you are great at this and should keep going. And like I said before, man, I started this on May 1st. I just kept going with content. No matter what small subscribers you have, just keep going. Just keep doing it. Just keep going, going, going. Don't let the little subscribers, whatever, get you down. Just keep going forward, man. That's my mentality. That's the way I do things. But yeah, your channel's fantastic.
I appreciate that, and as much as I was hoping to hear that, I also was ready for honesty too. On the other flip side, if there was some negative things as well, or um,
I'm a very positive person.
well, so am I. But I'm just saying, like where you would have some, tweak this, different. Because I think for me, what I say to myself after I watch an episode or so, whether it's
Yeah.
talking package with Steve or this one or my other videos, where I'm like, okay, maybe I should have went in depth and sent in this, or I really do need to get a better camera because this looks like dog crap. The video quality. I wonder if the video quality. Do you think it's the video quality that's hurting my sub count?
Honestly, maybe you can get a more because honestly, I'm gonna tell you from my experience, I've gotten tweets and I got a response on my videos telling me that I need to liven up my background a little bit more because it only has a few decals on the back. And I agree. People visually, they like to, it's visually appealing to see a nice background or like a green screen with a different graphic in the background, some better lighting without, graininess or whatnot. Like majority of my reaction videos has a ton of grain and is not clear. And that is something I should fix. But I think that's definitely visually, it's more appealing. But right now, I mean, here's where I look at it. You have low budget Hollywood films, right? You have very low budget films that go on to make tons of money. It doesn't necessarily matter all the time about the visuals. It just matters about the content that you have, So that's why I'm not super worried about changing up my setup right now. I'm still doing me,
Right,
you
and
know. So
that's all that really matters. I mean,
yeah,
from
you
my
have the content, you're speaking your mind, you're speaking about what you feel. So that's honestly all that should matter. But of course, livening up the background or, getting a better quality camera and high definition would, be a good choice. But I wouldn't put that on my top list of concerns because your content is great and content over quality. You know what I mean? Visual quality, that's what matters, I believe.
because I've seen a lot of people like I am here, me and my couch. I've seen a lot of people do couch videos and do well, so it's not like
Yeah, it's comfortable.
it's the couch that is the making people go away. The only background I had is of this, my
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion Packers, and that's my next question for you, right, Michael? What is your NFL team to cheer for?
To be honest, to be completely honest with you, I am not big on sports. But if I had to say, Giants, just for the sole main fact I am a New Yorker. That is the only reason why. But other than that, I am not big on sports, to be completely honest with you.
Okay, and for me, obviously, the Packers, fan, shareholder. Actually, we have our first home game coming up against Detroit Lions this week, so certainly,
Nice.
yeah, certainly looking forward to that. I guess for the Giants, they're 2-0, so that's good for New York.
Yeah, baby.
Hopefully, they can keep that train rolling, but we'll certainly see moving forward. But do you have any questions for me? I know, like I said, this is on the spot thing, but if you do,
Um, let's see. Where when you started this channel, um where do you see yourself going? What's the biggest thing that you want to do? What do you wish to happen exactly? Do you want to move away from podcasts in the future? Do you have a different dream, or is this where you want to stay at podcasts? Is this your dream right here?
well, sir, Michael, everybody follow him on Twitter at Raunchy Mikey. I'll put it in the chat at some point in this episode. Again, follow him at Raunchy Mikey. Follow him find him on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel, like his videos, and share his videos. For me, when I started my YouTube channel, and actually I started a year ago. This is my second NFL season, my second year of WWE talking about it here on YouTube. Before that, I was on Blog Talk Radio. I did both my podcasts there. I was even part of a network, the Red Light Sports Network. And for those that might not believe me, check it out. They have redlightsportsnetwork.com. I think it's still going strong. So I was part of that.
That's awesome.
And I had my WWE podcast and my NFL podcast. I blogged for the Houston Texans, even though as a Packer fan, I still had to do my job and blog for the Texans. I did blogs also after pay-per-views. So not only did I do my show reviewing the pay-per-view, but I blogged about it, almost saying the exact same thing. But when I blog, I actually go a little bit more in depth because I feel more comfortable at that time than I was on camera or in a booth at that point on Blog Talk Radio. So then I left Blog Talk Radio, separated from the Red Light Sports Network. I came to YouTube, and as I always say, you can check my About page, and it'll say that I've had my channel since I think it was 2009. But before it was just with being able to like videos, to subscribe to people, to comment, and all this stuff, because you have to have a channel to be able to do all that stuff, to interact with actual YouTubers. So when I started a year ago, I was saying, okay, I want to be a YouTuber now. I want to be professional. I even got rid of some of the playlists I have. There's still some on there. I think my NFL. I got rid of my weddings playlist and other things. There's other playlists I had there of wedding proposals and stuff like that. So I got rid of some of those things because I want to be more professional. And yes, I do want to keep doing.
Gotcha.
I want to keep doing podcasting because as I've done it more and more, even though like I said I have the stuff kind I have, but the more and more that I do it, and as much as I love the NFL, I love talking WWE so much, and my passion. Even though I show it different from others, I show it different from you, I show it different from Mark, and I show it definitely from JD from New York and Joe Cronin of the Joe Cronin Show, my other friends here on YouTube. Um, but my way of passion is maybe in my monotone voice, relaxed voice. I'm a relaxed kind of person, positive kind of person, but at heart, I'm shy. At heart, I'm an introvert. I'm someone. that took time to be able to do this on camera. Like if you hear from people that do vlogs on YouTube, how it took a while for them to be comfortable to be on camera around a crowded place and with
Yeah.
other people staring at them. Well, for me here, even just this way, with YouTube Nation, as I call everybody that watches videos here on YouTube, YouTube Nation, that this is what I want to do. I want to podcast. I want to keep doing it. I want to do it to the point where this can become my job here on YouTube, or if not on YouTube, with a company locally or otherwise nationally for sports. Like my dream would be, let's say, being the official podcast of WWE or something, or being working with the Green Bay Packers in their media production, um, thing like that, or a local TV station to start off there in their newsroom, or sports, sports is working with the sports department. So that's where I want to go. I want to be in broadcasting. I want to be a broadcaster. I want to be able to share my opinions, have people hear it, and that's why. And that's to be honest, that's why I sometimes I get the most frustrated with having the stuff kind of I have right now because I feel like I have what it takes, and that's why I really wanted to win in the Elena contest because I have stuff to say. I'm
Yeah,
passionate about
absolutely.
professional wrestling, and I just needed the outlets to be able to
Express yourself and
have more
yeah.
people to have ears to that. Now, as I said um, in my contest entry and my message to Elena last week, where I said that whether the people, these new people that are going to be hearing me and my opinions, whether they disagree with me strongly or agree with me strongly, it doesn't really matter because all that happens is it makes for a great debate, in my opinion. It keeps the conversation flowing, interacting back and forth like me and Michael are doing right now, even just about general topics.
It keeps it diverse. Absolutely. It's
Being
interesting.
able to communicate with people, um, and like I said, whether they say something counter to you, saying, "Oh, no, I don't agree with you, Steve. I think this and I think this." Okay, fine. And then we go back and forth and have an actual conversation. So yes, I when I came to YouTube, I was like, okay, here I'm gonna have my cornerstones of my channel: Talking Packers with Steve, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, the podcast. Now I also have review podcasts of Scream Queens and MTV Scream, where I
Good
do
show.
now.
Good
Which,
show.
by the way, for everybody, next month or this month, actually in a couple of days, it'll be the next month in October. I will be back with my MTV Scream review. I will have Fright Flicks and Horror Addicts here on YouTube, both as my guests for those shows. So, I want to have more. Then I'm also part of Main Event Marks on YouTube, even though right now they're on hiatus. I'm a co-host on Talking WWJ for the SmackDown live reviews on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central on Talking WWJ channel. Thursdays, news and notes or W predictions like we did earlier tonight. Check it out if you can for everybody. So I do that and I do everything. When I was part of Main Event Marks, the host there gave me the nickname of Man of a Million Podcasts because I host a lot of podcasts because like I said, I have all the ones on my own channel, the ones that I've been part of outside. And again, that was my driving force to wanting to be Elena's co-host, to have the eyes and ears of hundreds or thousands of people, as she even put in her original message for people to enter the contest. Um, when she said, the reason you should do this is because I get, what did she say, like 1,700 views per video. So,
Yeah.
and that's good for you because you deserve it too. You have 1K subscribers, you're growing, sky's the limit. Okay, so but I'm just saying for myself, that's what I want and that's what I hope to get. And now, after finding out finding out that I didn't win, I didn't make the cut. That's fine. That's her personal preference because she has to feel comfortable to be with a person, to work with that person. And to her, wouldn't feel comfortable working with me, or didn't think I had enough um, to be able to do that, or didn't have the type of personality she was looking for, which is fine because that is her choice. It's not like it was put name in a hat and a randomizer was going to pick,
Yeah.
So, but as I dust myself off, now I focus on my channel again. Now I focus on talking WJ, and actually this lit a fire under my ass to want to be better and to want to get to the point. And I don't know if you did see it, but I did send a tweet to you and Elena earlier today. Earlier today, where I said, okay, I lit a fire on my ass, and I hope at one point Elena will contact me to be a guest. I'll be good enough to be able to just be there as a guest for one episode in by the end of 2018 or something. But we'll see how it goes. But for right now, focus on my channel. Have Talking Packers with Steve's Wrestling Ramble, make them bigger, better, and greater, and try to get to 1K subscribers. But for me, it's going to be different. It's going to have to scratch and claw, okay? Because with 82 subs, you don't know if you don't get a lot of views. As I said, my average views for videos, some especially for my wrestling podcast, sometimes it's 13 to 16 views. Okay, 13 to 16. For my NFL show, it's like 36 to 42. For my Gravity Falls videos, each of them got 100. For my MTV Scream podcast, they average between 74 and 86. So I guess from there I should maybe I should just do this. But I do love pro wrestling. I do love the NFL. Okay, and even in defeat now, I move on and think that hey, maybe this channel can become something. It's just gonna take longer now because you're doing it on your own, and you see what happens. You see if you're able to get more guests, like having you on tonight and Mark as well. See if maybe at some point you'll get that break, and then when that break comes, you take it. You take that ball and you run with it. Okay, it's an opportunity. Just like Michael's gonna take that opportunity to be a part of Elena's show, and he ain't gonna say, oh, it is whatever. No, he's gonna say, no, now I have this. I'm gonna be part of this. I'm gonna work my ass off while doing it, and I'm gonna make sure that I show the best of myself and show the passion that I truly have for professional wrestling and WWE. That you're gonna be so good that other people are gonna contact you that you didn't even know knew that you freaking existed on YouTube. You're gonna be that good, okay? And
I
and I know
appreciate
you
it,
will
man.
because that's. I mean, I don't know you personally, but from just talking to you here, it seems like that's the type of person you are. You're gonna work your ass off. You're gonna still be the polite, kind, and respectful person that you are, just like I am. Because I ain't gonna change. I'm not gonna try to be cool. I'm not gonna start swearing because everybody else does. No, I'm gonna be
Absolutely.
relaxed, monotone voice, talk professional wrestling or NFL. If you like it, awesome. If you don't, then I respectfully understand. But yeah, so like you, with the opportunity of being part of Elena's show, and me here on my show and on my channel, I'm gonna try. We're both going to take this opportunity of our own and just blaze of glory. We're just gonna move on forward and kick butt and do well. Any other questions?
Absolutely. And it's funny because I have over 1,000 subscribers now on my channel, and it's funny because I have another channel called Ugly Dinosaurs, which is a gaming channel, and that channel was started years ago. Years ago, we have a lot of content on there and a lot of editing. We have a lot of editing on that channel, more editing than this channel here. And that only has about 43 subscribers. And so it's all about timing too. It's all about timing because I had a channel for so much longer and I edited, for hours, way more hours. Because reaction videos, they're quite simple. You react and then you split them up, piece them together. Where like gaming recording videos, you have the webcam and then you have the video game footage, and it's just a lot more work to do if you want to put funny graphics in here and there and everything. But yeah, it's literally all about time, man. It's you just sometimes you're lucky, sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
Do you have any other questions on the mind?
Actually, I do. What is your schedule? Because it seems like you have a lot of different podcasts and everything. What is your day-to-day schedule like
All right,
from
so
morning to night?
we'll talk about today.
Okay.
Today, Thursday, September what 22nd today? I don't know, whatever.
Yep.
September 22nd, 2016. I woke up at about 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. I check everything. I check my YouTube page. Check if there's more subscribers. I check my emails. I check my Facebook. I play some of my games like Candy Crush and stuff. If I'm just to do that, just to get me, I don't know, waking up, have breakfast. Hey, it's October. Guess what? Count Chocula's back, so I get to have a bowl of Count Chocula.
That's
Because when I was a kid, that was my thing. Because
serious as
back then
shit. That's a good cereal.
it used to be all year round. Now I have to wait till seasonal. Anyway, so I had some of that while I'm playing Candy Crush or Soda Crush or whatever, playing my games. Then I see, okay, I have my episode tonight. I have Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I find the list the match card on WWE.com. I make sure I have that saved. Then I go to Twitter and find Raunchy Mikey and at Looney Tunes 163. I go, okay, let's see what they're doing this morning. Are they up yet? Have they tweeted? Have they done anything on their channel? Like, what's going on? And then I see what you guys are up to since you're going to be my guest. And I say, have they promoted yet? What are they doing? I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying I just check up. I just
Yeah.
see. Okay, is that going to be done? Because you guys are busy. Sometimes it just can't happen. So that's what I did. Then um, my grandparents. I live at home now with my mom, helping out with my grandparents, and so I had to take one of my grandparents to a grocery shopping. So we went grocery shopping, came back, had lunch. Then I looked for the NFL schedule and my picks, and I was like, okay, so next week when I have Talking Packers with Steve, I want to try to hit these points, and I'm even talking about points to hit before the game's even played, about what I want to talk about already for each game and the matchups. Then I remember, oh, we're getting into October. I'm having my MTV Scream thing come back, and I started Scream Queens yesterday morning, because that came out of the blue because I told people I wanted to do that. So then I get ready, watch some previews for Scream Queens, see if I can find some previews for the MTV Scream Halloween holiday episodes. So I'm doing that in the afternoon. Then I take a short nap. Then I come back, I go on YouTube and I watch some videos. I go to Mark's channel and I go to your channel and I start watching some videos. Okay, and I just watch a couple parts of one, ending parts of some others. Then just to see what you guys were talking about for WWE in the past couple of weeks,
Yeah.
so I can have an idea where your mind is at, so I don't come in cold turkey for the show. And then we get later in the evening. Then I get some DMs from you guys, and then we're conversing, and then it's the evening. I have dinner with my family, and then after I have dinner, I come back downstairs and I'm talking, and I have my podcast episode with Talking WJ. We have our prediction episode with Stephen A at Stephen A 1181 and at Talking WWE with just the letter J on Twitter, with those two. And so we do our predictions episodes, then we have our post episode chat about things and our future, because our future is bright over there too. Um, and then I'm done there. Then I can focus again on my show, and then I'm conversing again with you guys on Twitter, and then I'm watching Modern Family on TV and a little bit of the football game as well. So that was my day today. I had a lot of stuff going on, and it all wasn't just pro wrestling. It all wasn't just my show for this today. It was
Yeah.
thinking for MTV Scream Queens. I'm going to be doing next week after the next episode airs. Planning for this. See, like I said, watching your guys' videos so I know what your guys' minds are at right now for WWE and the things you guys have been talking about on your own channel. And even I checked your Twitter. I checked your Twitter stuff. I've seen your tweets for the last Raws and SmackDown Lives on both of yours, not just at Raunchy Mikey, but at Looney Tunes 163, and check and see what you guys are saying and this and that. Um, I really should have favorited more tweets, but anyways, and then
It's all good.
get that ready for the show, and see if there's some tweets that I saw from either of you that okay, I might want to bring this up on the show and ask them, okay, why did you tweet this? Why did you tweet that? Um, was this just be a funny tweet or were you serious tweet? That kind of stuff. So I did a lot of stuff today. I was
So wow,
busy.
you're definitely grinding. Yeah, you're
So
never stopping. You keep going.
yeah,
That's a good way to be, man. That's a great way to be. A lot of people are unmotivated and don't take the time to do their research or, go that deep in detail of what they want. You know what I mean? You do that. It's fantastic.
and that's why actually 10 minutes before we got to this episode, I'm like, I worked all this time almost like a 24-hour day. And at some point it will matter. At some point it will get subscribers. But for right now, you just have to do the work and then it'll come to you. Kind of like how people
Absolutely.
tell me, because I'm a single guy. How people tell me, my friends or family, saying she'll come to you. Well, the subscribers will come to you as long as you're working hard as I am behind the scenes. And that's sometimes where I feel bad in some episodes, where I worked a lot behind the scenes, and then the episode is airing and goes in archived. I watch it. I'm like, really? There's some things that I forgot to talk about, or there's things where I'm stumbling, and I'm like, oh, Steven, what are you doing? Sort of things. It's like, you work so hard, but this is what people are going to see. They're not going to see all the other stuff because they're not here. They're going to see
Yeah.
whatever you have, for that hour or 30 minutes or whatever you're on the air. So,
But
um,
that's the thing about live. You're live, anything could happen. I mean, it's realistic. It's real. It's right now. I mean, everyone's gonna make a couple of bloops live. It's just the way it is. There's nothing to be hard on yourself about. It's just the way it is.
yeah. So, any other hard hitting questions from Michael, Raunchy Mikey?
I'm blank at the moment.
No, that's fine. No, for me, I guess since I talked about my favorite TV shows, because I do love them, What are your some of your favorite TV shows, either
Oh
past or
man.
current?
Um, excuse me. So the past TV shows, I would say probably shows like Prison Break, Breaking Bad. There was a show back then on Fox called True Calling. That was a great show. As far as shows right now, Walking Dead, Banshee, and I've been watching a lot of shows on Netflix now. I got into From Dusk Till Dawn,
Oh,
and
Netflix. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for me, I'm looking forward. I think it was announced December 9th. December 9th, for those that are fans of Fuller House, season 2 is coming back on December 9th for Fuller House season 2.
I was a big, huge fan back then of watching Full House, and I've been meaning to watch Fuller House. I just don't know if it's gonna capture. I mean, does it capture the same exact nostalgic spirit that the original did have? I mean, how is it?
I think to me it did. I mean, it could have done a little bit better, but I think some of the scenes, some of the flashbacks, even some of the guest stars actually that came from season 1. There was one of them in particular that at first I didn't recognize until they did the flashback, and I'm like, oh, that's that character. So I think to me, I think it does what it does, especially with the first episode, with the
Oh,
premiere,
okay.
it does the best one. But even as it gets deeper and deeper into the season 1, to me at least, I think it does a good job. Obviously, could have been better, but I think it did spot on. I'm looking forward to season 2 and the storylines moving forward in that show. Um, yeah, for me, like I said, Modern Family, Blackish. There's a new show now on CBS. Kevin from Work is on Mondays. Is good. Big Bang Theory. I love. I mean, Modern Family. Technically, I have on TV right now on mute. Um, it has a Modern Family marathon on USA Network. So, I even watch it when it's not on its own network with new episodes. So, those shows. Past shows I liked were Glee, um, How I Met Your Mother, um, Castle, and there's a couple other ones. And then I do like there's some Disney shows that actually aren't that bad right now, like Liv and Maddie, Austin and Ally was okay. Gravity Falls I found on Disney XD. Wander Over Yonder was pretty good. Um, so there are a little different things where I dip my toes in from Disney shows to indie.
Yeah.
So
I actually saw your tweet and I was surprised because I actually watched I believe almost of the first season of actually Girl Meets World because I am a huge insane fan of Boy Meets World. I grew up on that show. I absolutely adored that show and I actually watched a little bit more of the first season and it's actually not a bad show. It's actually pretty good.
if I may ask, since like I said I had a crazy day, what tweet are you talking about?
You had a tweet out, I believe, today, and you said what your shows. It was just a list of shows
Oh
that you
yeah,
were
listen, shows
watching.
I watch and Girl Meets World. Yes,
Yeah,
I watched Boy Meets World, 90s Kid again. 90s Sabrina the Teenage Witch I watched when I was a kid.
that was another great show.
Um, oh, past show, Melissa and Joey. Um, the actress that plays the daughter in Melissa and Joey is now playing the daughter on Kevin Can Wait on CBS. That's where I
Oh
remember
wow.
that. Okay, that connection. See, I remember things like that, just like I know for WWE of who is supposed to be the fourth member of Evolution. So, um, excuse me. Where was I getting at? Oh, so those were my shows that I liked, past and present. Like I said, Girl Meets World. I watched Boy Meets World. I have all seasons on DVD of Boy Meets World still.
I
That's
need
something that
them
I
on
watch.
DVD. I missed them.
So I still watch some of mostly is actually the first three seasons than the last two. But anyways, yeah, Girl Meets World is actually pretty good. Another show that technically is a Canadian show, but now they airing on Disney Channel, and that's Backstage. It's actually pretty good with those shows as well. I mean, if you want to get somebody's real opinions, and again, this is me promoting everybody that I can, and that's another reason people should join me in the chat. I know we haven't talked about WWE yet, but we're waiting for Mark of Mark Rambo TV. Um, but if you want to be in the chat and you want to share something, let me know. Maybe give me a link of your Twitter and a link of your YouTube channel, your Twitter name, and I will shout it out. That's the type of person I am. I'm interactive, so if I do get that 1K subscribers, 5K, a million, the more people, I'll help you out just as much as I'm trying to be helped out because I'm the type of person of do unto others as you want done unto you. So I'm gonna help you out just as much as I hope maybe somebody else will help. That I hope somebody in the future may help me out with getting into a door somewhere or getting a chance, on their end, helping me out doing something on that end. So, you know, doing good does help in this world. So, um, but we'll see about things like that. It's this grind. It's working hard for those that want to do YouTube videos. They want to do YouTube or podcasts or anything like that. It's not as easy as you think. Like I told Michael here, of what I did today, just today, and the craziness. Let alone me doing this every day. Like tomorrow, there's things I have to do. Even on the weekend, where I try to have my personal time, things to do. I mean, I guess it is a good thing I'm single, because I do have a lot of things that I have to do. Um, Single since 2009. So the last time I dated, um, I was still in the military, still living in Hawaii, and yeah, and we broke up 2 days after Valentine's Day in 2009. So, anyways, that was the last time I dated. So there's a little bit about that. But like I
Stay
said,
single. It's cheaper.
I guess so. I mean, there's good and bad. You can do whatever you
Excuse
want
me.
whenever you want. The bad thing is you don't have someone to share your life with yet. So that's the only
Hey,
bad
time
thing.
comes for everybody, man.
I know.
Just takes time.
Exactly. People get married at 40, people get married at 20. So,
There you go.
it is what it is, right? So,
Yep.
let me think see if there's any other questions, whether WWE or just personal related or whatever that I have for you. And not too much that I can think of really to ask you that wouldn't get, too personal. Um, that I can ask you on air. And like you said, I don't think you had anything left for me in the questions category.
Actually, yeah, because I mean, as aside from reactions, I make different content, like making tribute songs for wrestlers and everything. Are you thinking about making new content other than podcasts? Maybe sometimes throwing in different, completely different content into the thing, other than podcasting.
Yeah, yeah, and I think I do sometimes. I even did on April Fools. Like something. Okay, so what I do that's different content is I just throw up different videos that are either taped or just random. Like once I did a live video of me singing songs, covers of songs that I like "Sold" by John Michael Montgomery, "The Dance" by Garth Brooks, and many other songs that I love. Just making a fool of myself on April Fool's Day. So sometimes I just do that
Yeah,
randomly. It doesn't get views, but it's just something I like to do, something different. Or like I say, I talk about TV shows, so that's not podcasting. I'm talking
yeah,
about Girl Meets World or Gravity Falls or other things. So that's my difference. Like I said,
gotcha,
I don't have the technology yet to do true different things. That might be captivating, but for that, that's what I do for different entertainment here on this channel.
gotcha.
So I hope that works. Mark, are you there?
Yep, I'm there.
Yes, that's well, good to know. All right, so let's get started here for Clash of Champions. Let's actually get on
What
topic
up,
for it.
Mark?
What's going on, man?
You ready to go, Mark?
Let's do it.
All right, give me a second here.
Bow, 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 bow.
All right, again, everybody, welcome to Steve's Wrestling Ramble. Now we have our three-team prong here of NWO members. For this episode, we're going to be talking Clash of Champions and our predictions. I guess we should get right into it slowly but surely through the card of WWE Clash of Champions. Let's start off with the pre-show, kickoff show, Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax. Um, I guess, who do you have and why? First, Michael.
Who do I have and why? Nia Jax, because she's insanely dominant, and there's no way Alicia Fox is gonna win. I don't see, especially after seeing them on Raw and when she just speared her through the barricade. By the way, which is a 10 times better spear than Roman Reigns. I'm just gonna say that right now. Um, I just definitely believe Nia is just gonna get it. There's no way, unless it was interference from some other enemy, which I completely doubt. I just definitely think it's gonna go to Nia. Unless it's a dirty win, a dirty pin. Who knows?
Okay, Mark.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. Just the way Nia Jax delivered that spear to Alicia Fox, it was just I knew for a fact that it's not even close to a match. I feel like Nia Jax is just gonna dominate her way through the whole thing, and eventually, in the near future, become a women's champion. In my opinion.
How early do you think that'll happen? How early do you think she can get the women's championship?
Well, just the physical stature, the physical part of her just clearly tells that she's able to dominate, you know, anybody if she wanted to. But I'm not counting anybody out. I just believe, maybe after WrestleMania, in the last podcast I had with you, Steve,
Hmm.
I remember Jay mentioning, probably after WrestleMania. I kind of agree with that now because, to me, she has a lot of potential. And, I can't see her being pushed at this second, but in the near future, I definitely see her winning something.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna go with Nia Jax as well. The only way I see Alicia Fox winning at all is if Nia Jax just beats the crap out of her outside the ring, gets disqualified, and if Alicia Fox wins the match, because of that way, because of qualification. But beyond that, my prediction, my official prediction for this match will be Nia Jax defeating Alicia Fox. Next up, Sami Zayn versus Y2J Chris Jericho. We have in Y. Mark.
Oh,
That's tough.
yeah, very tough. uh, wow. I want to go with Sammy, only because he, in my opinion, is kind of unpredictable. You kind of know what you are in store with when you're watching him, but at the same time you don't. Meaning that he he's so gifted. It's like I feel like, in my opinion, he's kind of underused as of right now. And I would love to see him get a title chance in the near future. I don't want him to have another feud with Kevin Owens because he just finished having a feud like a couple months ago, and then he had about 1,000 of those on TNA. I mean TNA, NXT, my bad. And it's like in the near future, I see him getting the shot of going against either whoever wins the Night of Champions, Clash of Champions, my bad, Clash of Champions pay-per-view. It is like I see him being maybe near champion. Now I'm not seeing it soon, but I'm seeing it in the near future. I'm going with Sammy.
Okay, Michael, who do you have winning this matchup?
Personally, this is just my own fantasy. I think Chris Jericho is gonna win. Just for the fact I think Chris Jericho's best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Owens, is going to interfere because there are still those little mini feuds you see going on with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I feel like that Kevin Owens could
Yeah.
possibly just let Sammy lose by interfering and doing something which lets Jericho get a dirty pin on him. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of dirty pins going to be going on at Clash of Champions, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, I mean, honestly, who I'd want to win, I mean, I'd like to see Sammy get a win, but I mean, it'd be also too, I mean, awesome for Jericho to get a win for once. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like he's such an amazing, amazing worker, especially on the mic. Chris Jericho, you can't deny he can entertain an audience. He is
Exactly.
fantastic. So
Exactly.
I believe he should definitely get a win for once. I would not be mad if he got this win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn to get the win over Chris Jericho. I mean, for me, Chris Jericho is one of the best, or him and Kane, for me, the best debuts in WWE. Chris Jericho and Kane. But for this match, I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn over Chris Jericho. Next matchup, WWE Cruiserweight Champion T.J. Perkins defending his title
Oh
against Brian
shit.
Kendrick.
Ah.
What I found interesting is that on Monday Night Raw, the champion T.J. Perkins was not there. I would have thought that at least they would have had him on commentary to at least watch the match and have that moment of a stare down with Brian Kendrick something in the ring and him standing up from the chair there at or no, it's up now. It's in a different location, up on the ramp, doing a stare down with each other heading into Clash of Champions. I thought that would happen. So I don't know if there was something logistically that he couldn't get there on time, or this or that, or what the real reason why he wasn't on WWE TV on Monday Night Raw. But whatever the reason, for me, I'm going to go first this time, and I'm going to go T.J. Perkins to successfully defend his WWE Cruiserweight Championship and defeat Brian Kendrick. I just don't see them changing the title so soon. So they just wanted to finish the Cruiserweight Classic, which was awesome, by the way. I loved it. And for me, my favorite coming out of the Cruiserweight Classic personally was Grand Metalik. Grand Metalik being my personal favorite from get go. His first match was the first match of the whole entire tournament. Round one, match one of show number one. episode number one of the Cruiserweight Classic. His match was there, and from that point moving forward, he was my favorite, and becoming a big fan of his right away. And that's why I kind of hoped and wished he would have won in the finals to become the first Cruiserweight champion. But it is what it is. My prediction again: T.J. Perkins successfully defending the WWE Cruiserweight Championship over Brian Kendrick, who I do think is a good pick to be the first contender. Now, who do you have and why, Michael?
I agree with you 100%. I feel like it's going to be TJ just because I do not think after all that they're going to literally have him drop the title that quick. But again, this is WWE. They can throw some swerves, just like they did on Raw when you thought Triple H was going to help Seth Rollins. But no, he helped Kevin Owens and pedigreed Seth Rollins. So I believe that I don't know. I'm going to go with TJ. I think he's going to retain, but like I said, it's WWE. A swerve can happen, and Kendrick could possibly take the belt off him that quick.
Okay, Mark, where do you see? How do you see this match going? And who do you think is going to win?
You see, I like Brian Kendrick. I like him. I remember him when he was with wrestling. I mean, with
Hell yeah.
WWE earlier. He was phenomenal. I loved watching him. But I'm gonna have to go with T.J. Perkins, only because I mean, other than the Cruiserweight Classic, honestly I haven't heard much about him. But watching the Cruiserweight Classic, I've grown to have an appreciation for him, and I want to see him hold that championship for a long time, as long as he possibly can. You know, the Brian Kendrick match it's going to be extremely interesting. I thought the whole cruiserweight match was interesting, but hopefully I want it to be a good match. I've seen these two wrestle before. Like I said, I've seen Brian Kendrick wrestle before. I've seen T.J. Perkins wrestle in the Classic, but from what I've seen, the one that's impressed me the most was definitely TJ, and I'm gonna have to go with him.
Okay. Next matchup, match 7 of the best of 7 series. I found it interesting on Monday Night Raw how the commentators are making it all like trying to make it all special or amazing that
Yeah.
Cesaro won match 6 and we're going to match 7. Like, are you freaking? Yeah, I kind of see this coming a mile away. I saw this coming when it was 3-0 Sheamus. I saw the
Yeah.
reverse run for Cesaro to go 4-0, and I'm gonna keep going that way. I'll go first again. I'm gonna go with Cesaro winning. And I see moving forward, he'll get a chance at Rusev and the United States Championship moving forward on Monday Night Raw. And I think that's where that's going to go for Sheamus, whatever. I could care less. But for Cesaro, he's the one that deserves it. He's the one that's supposed to be for. Sheamus put him over, at least it better be. And that's where I'm going to go for my prediction of. But who do you guys have? And first off, we'll go with Michael again.
Honestly, my gut feeling, I don't care who wins, just because I've seen him fight 6 goddamn times already. But to be perfectly honest with you, I like them both. I don't think people give Sheamus enough credit. But I really do love Cesaro. What I think actually is going to happen, it may throw you guys off just because I've been hearing rumors about a Cesaro heel turn. I feel like that Sheamus will actually be the one on top to win, and Cesaro will actually turn heel by just absolutely brutalizing Sheamus at the end of the match, and just the whole Cesaro section fan base. He'll start ripping up Cesaro signs everywhere and just going absolutely crazy. I don't know. That's something I've been thought of. I think it'd be a really great swerve by WWE. So honestly, I'm just going to be that person. Just say I think Sheamus is going to win this match.
Well, that's fine because I know someone talking to WJ, I think it was Stephen A, that went that way, going with Sheamus to get the win, which certainly, you never know, with this kind of, especially with a seven game, 7 match series thing. And I think where else it could go if Sheamus wins is Cesaro having still that storyline of issues with Monday Night Raw and maybe wanting to go to SmackDown Live where he wanted to be drafted and have that continuing. And maybe at some point his contract is up and he goes over to SmackDown Live because he had enough on Monday Night Raw and them not giving him the chance that he deserves. So I think maybe that's the way it goes, and that's the only way it better go if Sheamus wins because anyone else, I certainly won't understand it because I think that's the only way you have it if he does lose. I mean, not even the heel turn would work for me. I think for more he would stay face. I just want to go over to SmackDown Live and maybe there on SmackDown Live he'll turn heel at some point. But for right now, keep him face and either have him win the thing in the series and move forward with Rusev in the United States Championship, or Sheamus wins, Cesaro has that issue continuing with the authority of Monday Night Raw. Our next matchup for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships, The New Day versus The Club, Luke Gallows and
Hmm.
Carl Anderson.
Hmm.
Mark, who do you have to win and why? I mean, just certainly match that
this
SummerSlam.
this one is a little bit difficult because me, I love the Bullet Club. You know, I remember watching them. Like, I'm not just a WWE guy, by the way. I watch, and unfortunately, I watch TNA. I watch, what is it? New Japan Pro Wrestling. I watch that a lot. I've seen these guys wrestle before. I'm gonna have to go with the Bullet Club on this one because I do believe, as I remember, the New Day already broke the record for the most days held having the tag team championships. So, you know, I'm not gonna say the whole New Day thing is dying out because it's not really. It's just that I think they're ready for a heel turn, and rumor has it, I do believe Vince was really interested in giving Big E a heel turn if they lost.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
I'm interested in seeing that match, but unfortunately, I kind of want the Bullet Club one because I like the New Day. I love the New Day.
Mark, it's called the Club now. You got to remember that.
Oh yeah.
It's just the club.
The Club.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Some fans want to beat Vince McMahon up with a club for calling them a club.
Exactly.
Michael, who do you have winning this match and why?
I agree with Mark completely. As much as I absolutely adore the New Day, and I have my Budio cereal, the real kind, which are absolutely delicious, by the way.
I've had those.
Aren't they amazing? They're delicious,
they're
right?
Incredible.
They're like Lucky Charms on crack. They're amazing. But yeah, as much as I love the New Day, and it's so exciting and fun to see him as the WWE Tag Team Champions, I believe the Club is going to get those titles. I mean, but if they do get the titles, it needs to be clean. I want it to be a clean win to prove they are dominant heels. Because to be honest, it seems like every single time they book a heel nowadays, they have to win by a dirty win or like interference. And I think it's bullshit. I don't think that's right at all. And because the last 20,000 times the Club fought the New Day, there's always been either interference or disqualification or all this stuff. But I definitely think that if they book this right, it should be a clean, awesome tag team match. And the Club is going to win cleanly.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the club as well. I think they should have won it at SummerSlam, to be quite honest. But going to hold it up another month, have it here at the first Raw branded pay-per-view here, Clash of Champions. I think maybe that works out kind of like AJ Styles winning the WWE World title at WWE Backlash for the first SmackDown Live branded pay-per-view. Have a big moment like that, have the club get their moment here at Clash of Champions, become the new tag team champions. That's where I see it going, and really don't see the New Day keeping the titles. See them maybe not being split up yet because they still get a rematch. But maybe after that, maybe we'll slowly see them go their separate ways, and maybe one of them will be going over to SmackDown Live. Maybe we'll be seeing more superstars going back and forth, going to different brands.
Oh, I'd miss the New Day if they split up. Goddamn.
Yeah, I would hate that too.
But gentlemen, the next match up we have is, to me, it could be the match of the night. The match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yes.
In a triple threat match. I think to me, it'll be match of the night. I think it'll even be better than Owens and Rollins. And I know a lot of people might poo-poo that, whatever. But to me, I think the women can deliver in that way. I mean, heck, I was even hearing rumors that the women could have even main evented here at Clash of Champions over the Universal title match of Owens and Rollins. I'm going to go first here. I'm going to go with Charlotte to successfully defend her title. I see at some point.
What?
Are you serious?
What?
I see at some point Dana Brooks costing Charlotte the title, but just not here at Clash of Champions. I don't see it happening here. We're not going to put.
Hey, guys, my God.
Hey, whoa, hold on. We are not, and I repeat, we are not gonna play hot potato with the WWE Raw Women's Championship. And we're not gonna have Sasha Banks have
Oh,
the title back, and then all of a sudden WWE wants to change their mind and still have it back later on. I mean, if you're gonna have a set feud and you're gonna have actually a true champion, maybe right now since you gave the title back to Charlotte, you actually stay with somebody. That's usually I don't know, a good idea, and have them have a run. I mean, what's rumored for WrestleMania 33 of Sasha Banks versus Bayley? That's still far in advance.
I would love
It's
to
so
see
far in
that.
advance that you can't really
Oh
be
my
setting that up
God,
yet.
yeah.
So for me, we're gonna wait a little bit for Sasha to get the title. It's way too early for Bayley to get it, so she's kind of out of
Absolutely.
the picture for me for predictions. But for me and my prediction, Charlotte retaining the WWE Raw Women's
That
Championship.
hurts.
Who do you
That
guys
hurts
I
have?
so
I hate I
much.
hate that bitch Charlotte so much.
I think she's fantastic as a heel. She's doing great.
That's the point. I hate her.
Oh, okay, good. Anyway, who do you guys have winning and why? First, we will start with Mark of Mark Rambo TV.
Oh man, I want Sasha to win so bad. You have no idea.
Oh,
I'm tired of Charlotte ranting and ranting about and just making Dana Brooke look weak. I mean,
I know.
I loved it when Dana Brooke smacked the taste out of her mouth when when the last episode of it was last week. Actually, it wasn't last week. It was not this week. It was last
It was
week.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and it made me it brought it brought a warm sensation to my heart. It was like it was I felt so happy and alive when that happened because it was like I don't know how much you could take going through all that and then finally doing that. I was so excited, man. You have no idea. I'm going with Sasha Banks all the way.
okay, then Mr. Giggles over there, Michael. Who do you have winning this
No,
match?
I'm sorry. I was remembering that time where she slapped her in the face, and that was just brilliant. I went crazy. That was a wonderful moment.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to that role too.
Oh really? Damn
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to the NXT though, so that's all that matters.
All right, stop talking, man, because you're making me jealous now. I always wanted to go to one. But honestly, this is hard, man. This is hard. I mean, who I really want to win is, of course, Sasha Banks. I agree with you, Steve. You said it's too early for Bayley, even though I love Bayley. I loved her since NXT. I do love her, but it is too early for her. I feel like Sasha is going to get the pin and win it back. Why? Because I think Dana Brooke is finally going to get her smarts and cost Charlotte the title and interfere. And finally, that's it. Disband them. I had my Raw review. I said, please disband them both. They shouldn't be together, especially like Mark said.
Amen.
After the slap, that was a wonderful moment for Dana to go back to Charlotte. Made no sense whatsoever. It made absolutely no sense, especially how she's been treated from Charlotte. It just doesn't make any sense. But I feel like that Sasha's going to win the belt due to interference from Dana Brooke.
Okay, now if I had to go with who I would want to win, for me, I would want Bayley to win, but as I said, it's too early for her to be for being winning the Raw
Yeah,
Women's Championship.
Yeah.
yeah.
But for me, for fandom, I would want Bayley to be the winner. The next matchup, United States Championship, Rusev versus the guy, the man,
Oh,
Roman
this
Reigns,
guy.
the United States.
This
I'm gonna go
guy.
first. The way it seems, it looks like you're gonna put the title on Roman Reigns, but my prediction will be Rusev. I think the reason why
Yeah, I
most
can
people
see
are thinking
that.
that, and as they should, going up Roman Reigns, making him having him coming down from the world title picture or universal title, excuse me, universal title picture, and being here in the mid card title for the United States title, and people are upset about that, thinking that he's just gonna bury Rusev if he wins and all that other stuff. I mean, it's just one match. If he wins, he was the United States champion. It's not end of life for Rusev, just like it was an end of life for Rusev when he lost John Cena, right? So it'll be all
Hmm.
good. It'll be fine. But so if that does happen, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it for sure. But my prediction is going to be Rusev over Roman Reigns, successfully defending the United States Championship. So who do you guys have, and why? We will start with Mark.
You see, I gotta have Roman Reigns winning, because ever since he was suspended for the 30 days, it was just a whole bunch of interviews and a whole bunch of articles saying how upset Vince was because Vince honestly wanted to push Roman Reigns to the Universal title match, he wanted him to be the face of the WWE. Since John Cena, he's not like Dean Ambrose says, he's a mid wrestler, whatever he said. I forgot. I can't remember. But the only reason he is at the mid card level is because of the situation that he had. And honestly, I think they're going to build him up. They can't just put him on that high of a level type of match. And he just came back from a suspension. The crowd is honestly booing every time they see him. So I think they're going to let Roman Reigns have that championship for a little while, and then he's going to lose it and probably get back into the main picture.
Okay. And Michael, who do you have winning and why?
I'm gonna have to go with Mark on this one. I agree. Roman Reigns, and I just want to say before I start talking about Roman Reigns, if any of my followers from YouTube are listening to me right now, you know how much I hate the guy. So I'm not happy. I'm not happy saying this, but I think it's gonna be Roman Reigns, definily. Like Mark said, I can't stand him either, man. I hate talking about him. But I want to win. I want Rusev to win, to be honest with you. But I think Roman Reigns is going to win because, like what Mark was saying, I mean, this man, ever since he came back from suspension, he's been put into these matches and just losing these title championships, and he's just been being thrown down, man. And I feel like that they threw him down, obviously, to the mid card, and I feel like they're going to give him that chance to build him back up. But I think what's going to happen is he is going to win that United States Championship, and well, I don't know if it's going to happen, but what I want to happen is for him, if he does win it next Monday night on Raw, he comes out with the belt, breaks a promo, turns heel, and he addresses the audience and how these people have been booing him for the longest time now. He's not going to put up with any of their crap anymore, and he's going to be a freaking mega heel with the United States Championship. I think that would be amazing. I think it'd be best for business, and who knows? Maybe, I don't know about me, I'm not saying me, but I think possibly this will get people to like him as a heel because if you think about it, look at Roman Reigns. This man's wearing a freaking vest. He comes out with a dum. He's not a face-looking guy. I mean, think about it. If you start watching wrestling again, if you skipped out on 5 years worth of wrestling, right, and you came back watching wrestling, you saw this man's entrance, you would have automatically thought he was a heel. Right? I mean, you would not think this guy is a freaking babyface. I think this man is going to turn heel soon, and I hope it's at Monday Night Raw. But yes, I believe he is going to win the United States Championship at Clash of Champions.
All right, and then we got the main event, WWE Universal Championship.
Oh, fuck.
Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Will Triple H get involved? How is that finish going to be ending? Will Roman Reigns be seen in the main event scene again, even not being WWE Universal Champion, not being even in the Universal Championship feud, but seeing him during that match as well. But where do you guys see that going? See how the finish goes, who you have winning and why? Michael.
Ah, shit. This is so hard. I love Kevin Owens, but I love Seth Rollins more.
Right. T-shirts and everything.
I know, man. It's so hard. They're both absolutely amazing. What I think's gonna happen, honestly, I think they're gonna pull a swerve on us. Everyone thinks that KO is gonna retain. I think that Seth's gonna get it. I just think Seth's gonna get the title. I don't know why. I just have a gut feeling that Seth's gonna get it, and they're gonna throw a swerve at us, and KO's gonna lose it. But I definitely think Triple H will interfere and try to
yes.
Right? I believe he will interfere and try to stop Seth. But I think Seth, what I would love to happen is Seth counters a pedigree and hits him with the returning curb stomp. And that's how you send off Night of Champions with him holding that WWE Universal Championship with Triple H on the ground. But yeah, I definitely think it's going to be him. I don't think that Roman Reigns is going to interfere, to be honest, especially if he does win the United States Championship. I feel like there's no reason for him to go after the Universal Championship, especially they threw him down to the mid card. I don't think they're going to pull that because I think if they do, people will be even more pissed off. But yeah, I believe it's Seth Rollins.
Yeah, like they already are, since him and Rusev have been main event scene all the way in the road to SummerSlam, and then they were co-main events in SummerSlam. They didn't even have a match. They just had Roman Reigns beat the crap out of Rusev.
Yeah.
But Mark, who
Yeah.
do you have with the W Universal Title match and why?
Okay. I have Kevin Owens retaining it. Because I see this is just gonna go down. Of course, it's gonna be the Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. What's gonna happen is Roman Reigns is going to come out and try to interfere. I
Mm.
believe Triple H is also going to come out and try to interfere. They're going to get into an altercation.
Hmm.
Something's going to go down between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins while the crowd is getting engrossed to I don't know, crowd's going to get engrossed to the Roman Reigns and Triple H feud. Maybe something may happen where I don't know, Seth Rollins may hit him with a bell. I mean, something that you wouldn't expect may happen will probably happen, and either Kevin Owens is going to reverse it, or maybe Seth Rollins, like you said, Michael, may retain it. I mean, I like both of them, so honestly, I don't really care because I love the two of them,
Mm-hmm.
and whoever wins, I'm still gonna like them. But I just see Roman Reigns and Triple H being involved into the
Oh, I
match.
see that too. I mean, go ahead, Michael.
I'm sorry, I want to say, or nobody ever talked about this, or Stephanie McMahon could interfere, and you think she's gonna protect Seth Rollins, but
Yeah.
she actually turns on Seth Rollins and slaps him right in the face. Because I feel like there's something
Yeah.
screwed with Stephanie McMahon. I feel like she's known about this the whole entire time, and she's gonna turn on Seth Rollins, and that's the official babyface turn of Seth Rollins right there.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that too. That's perfect.
I'd love for that to happen. I really do.
And you can have it kind of like they had back in the day uh, with Stephanie McMahon, Vince, or Stephanie, Vince, and Triple H. When
Oh,
Stephanie's trying to protect Vince or her father, and then turns on her and aligns with her new husband Triple H. That kind of turn.
that
Like having
I
back then
love that
happening
turn.
here now, I could visually see that happen. But for me, I see Triple H and Roman Reigns getting involved, but I see it in a different sequence of events. Okay, we have Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens fighting it out, knock each other out outside or something. You have Triple H coming in, hitting Seth with a pedigree, no reversals, whatever, just hits him with a pedigree, puts him in the ring. Kevin Owens comes to the ring, acting all heelish and like, oh, I got this, I'm gonna win, yada yada. Roman Reigns comes from out of nowhere, spears Kevin Owens, goes over to
Yeah,
Seth Rollins,
that's interesting.
drags his candy ass body over Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins 1, 2, 3, new WWE Universal Champion Seth Rollins.
Hmm.
So my official prediction on this show, which is different from my other shows that I'm a part of, but for this show, my own show, I'm going to predict Seth Rollins to be the new WWE Universal Champion and ending in that sequence of events in that order. So what do you guys think of
Interesting.
that?
That's really interesting. I mean, what would be pretty damn sweet is if there was like a little
It
mini
would.
Shield reunion at the end of the pay-per-view. Like
And it
definitely Shield.
and it's crazy because I'm huge on wrestling. I read, I watch, I listen to everything. They have rumors swirling around that the Shield may come back.
I
If
believe
the
it's happening,
Shield,
man.
if the Shield comes back, I will. That would be my top three wrestlers right there. I mean, just what they did before they split was incredible. Imagine what they're gonna do when they come back. I mean, they're already huge now. They already have belts under their hands. It's they know what they have to do now, and if they come back, all hell is gonna break loose.
Well,
That'd be sweet.
that'd be awesome if that would happen. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed the Shield for what they were, before they broke up. I don't know if I was on the bandwagon as much as I was as other people were. I think now since they split, I've become a big fan of Dean Ambrose and individually. But if they were to reform and everything, let's say at Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, that'd be kind of awesome too. I mean, for me, on my personal Twitter handle, I actually have a couple of tweets saved already if and when Kurt Angle comes back to WWE.
Oh my God, I can't
Yeah.
wait. God.
Yeah, because I would love to see Kurt in a WWE ring again, and whatever.
Probably gonna be one last time,
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
well, yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't think I don't even know. Even if he does come back, I don't see him actually wrestling. I don't know if he'll be able to pass as a physical. If anything, he might return just to be managing with American Alpha on SmackDown Live, which
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense for me. And then after that, or however how long that storyline goes, or or how long he wants to do that on TV. And maybe then he'll become a trainer and be working with WWE at the Performance Center in Florida. I mean, that would be kind of cool. Have Kurt Angle as your coach.
Yeah, that'd be
Eventually
nice.
become a WWE superstar. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I know many others wouldn't either. Palmer here in the chat room, and thanks to Palmer, LPH is good, and others that have been in the chat while we were live here. But Palmer has a question for us that he actually had midway through our predictions.
Palmer.
Palmer asks, "What do you guys think about WWE trying to buy TNA? And do you think
Yes, I've heard of that. I've heard of that. Oh my gosh.
and do you think
Yes.
and do you think there is going to be an invasion 2.0 of TNA versus WWE?
Absolutely.
So let's start with your opinions. Let's start with Michael. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think so. When I saw that, I got all giddy. I was so happy because I was picturing my head. Imagine a segment with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Just visualize that for a second. Can you imagine the mic work on that segment? That would be absolutely incredible.
Brother Nero.
Brother Wyatt, I know you come. But I believe that would. I'm serious. I believe that's gonna happen. If stuff like that's gonna happen, if this whole buyout is absolutely true, I think the invasion would be awesome. Look, I know a lot of people weren't fans of the invasion. I liked it. I really did. It's like when Survivor Series happened,
It was clever.
it was. And when Survivor Series happened, it was Team WWE versus Team WCW and ECW. That was so epic, man. I mean, when Team WWF won, when that team won,
Right.
remember the feeling? Everybody freaking went crazy because back then, man, it felt like there was a risk. You felt like for a second, man, maybe WWF might lose, you know. But yeah, I believe that it'd be awesome. And I really hope this whole buyout thing is true and not just rumors. I definitely think it could, especially broaden the audience as well.
Yeah.
Mark, what are your
completely
thoughts?
Rumor has it they are only bidding on it. That's the last thing I heard of it. I hope that they do buy it because, like Michael was saying, if they have some sort of an invasion, if only I would love to have seen Bray Wyatt against Abyss. I'm pretty sure Abyss isn't in TNA anymore. I do believe. Does anybody know if he's in there?
I do not know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, last time I checked, I didn't see him. But if it was him and Bray Wyatt, I think that would be an excellent feud. So I would love to see that happen.
That'd be dope.
It'd be nice to have EC3 in WWE. That certainly would be interesting. And think about this: Brandy Rose, Cody Rose going to TNA, being signed to TNA, and then let's say months later, or whatever later, WWE buys them out, and they're just right back in WWE.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I
That
didn't
would
even
be
think about that until I just said it. So that
Yeah.
they leave WWE and Cody Rhodes had his soliloquy that he wrote about why he left and everything, and months later they're right back.
And you'd see him as Cody Rhodes and not as Stardust. That'd be pretty. That'd be pretty
that
wild.
that better happen. I don't want to see any more Stardust.
That was a little interesting, the whole Stardust gimmick. I thought it was just a ripoff of Goldust. I mean, obviously it was a ripoff of Goldust.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it worked. You know, I didn't like it like that. I didn't like it like I like Goldust. Goldust was just literally a very uncomfortable type of dude. Like he was very what I say, suspect. He's very on the other side in a way. But I don't like the whole Stardust thing. And to see him as Cody Rhodes, it's like seeing him on the time that he actually was, a pretty good gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't mind. Dashing Cody Rhodes is pretty good to me. So
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But for me, do I think it's going to actually happen? As like I said, I was hearing the rumors too, reading a lot of other articles, differing opinions on actually what each outlet was saying against each other from what I was reading. And so, based on my opinions on all that reading, I don't think it's going to happen. I think in the end, I don't think WWE will be buying out TNA, but I would like it. I mean, I'm one for WWE just to take out everybody. So, why not? Be WWE is number one for a reason. That's why I said on my show months ago before the Cruiserweight Classic, I was saying, okay, you have all these indie stars or other stars or in other promotions that are doing awesome good for them, great athletes. But I want to see what they do and if they can actually prove themselves inside a WWE ring. Okay, so you could be great where you are and other things. It's good for you, but for me, as I guess you can say, I'm a WWE guy because I am. You got to prove your salt in the WWE. Okay, at least to me. And AJ Styles now in WWE, now the WWE World Champion. Okay, you proved it to me. Okay, others, even Dean Ambrose, who came from the outside. He wasn't the WWE created of the WWE machine, but he got to me, and he's now my favorite superstar on the current roster. So you gotta come to WWE,
That's
and
the
show your,
biggest
and
stage.
especially the, that tag team out there, the Young Bucks,
Yeah, yes,
when
I
they
Yeah,
throw
love
yeah,
them.
down,
I
they're
love
watching
them.
awesome.
super kick parties and all the other crap. Come to WWE and see how you are there. Because until then, for me, it ain't cutting it yet. But I don't know. We'll have to see. So I wouldn't mind if WWE buys TNA. I wouldn't mind if WWE buys every single company outside there, except
You see,
for New Japan Pro Wrestling, because that's never going to be bought up by anybody.
mm,
But I wouldn't mind it. I would like it. But I think to me, I don't see it happening, unfortunately. But we'll see. I
I
wouldn't
would love
mind.
to see the Young Bucks go all the way. If they did come to WWE, honestly, I could see them, just taking over if they wanted to. First you have to go against the people who are well known, of course, in the tag team
Yeah,
division, because it's not going to be that easy. Not everybody's going to know you like that, because the WWE is just it's huge. It's a global thing, and TNA, it's big, but it's not even as close to WWE. And when you're coming here, everybody's gonna watch you, and
exactly, man.
you got to show up from there.
Another topic I want to talk about is we already have our predictions, and actually, I will be live tweeting. I think I know, at least from what I have seen, Michael and Mark try to do live tweeting on their own Twitter handles at Raunchy Mikey at Looney Tunes 163. Live tweeting during WP reviews. I know I will keep them abreast of how the predictions go between us three on this show. For this pay-per-view, as I did with me and Matt's Madness at Matt_Madness on Twitter. He beat me for WWE Backlash predictions. So here now battling Mark and Michael, maybe be able to actually get a win under my belt on my own show. That'd be kind of be nice. So we'll see how everybody does. But after each match, I will be tweeting out the update for them to know and for all of you to know how we're all doing for our predictions for WWE Clash of Champions. But moving on from our prediction part of the show, talk about other things since this is Steve's Wrestling Ramble. We can ramble about anything. And one thing I want to talk about is the WWE draft. I've been trying to get Michael on the show for a while since the draft and hear his thoughts and everything. So, what were your thoughts going into the WWE draft? How do you think it panned out that night of? And how do you think things are going, as we go further and further away from the draft, having this brand split?
Honestly, first I was kind of like, well, I'll be honest with you. I was pretty excited for the drafts, but I didn't know which superstars they're gonna pick and everything. It's gonna be a good idea. They're gonna have enough big superstars on one show and another show.
Yeah.
And then I found out they were going live. I was like, oh, this is pretty sweet. No more, fake audio of cheers for Roman Reigns when they're booing the son of a bitch. you know? Um, but yeah, right now, I'm very happy with it just because like SmackDown, for instance, is giving superstars so many chances. I
They're
mean, Jesus, do
actually
you think I'm sorry, Mark, just
no,
really
you're good.
quick,
You're
do
good.
you
You're good.
think we were gonna ever see Alexa Bliss versus
Yeah,
Becky Lynch?
exactly.
I mean, that is awesome, man.
Exactly.
That's fresh. You know what I mean? That is fresh. And I mean, I'm excited for, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for Dean Ambrose versus John Cena.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was an
And the triple
excellent
threat. I mean,
call.
the
Right,
triple
I know,
threat.
yeah. WWE World Title, yes. And for me, I think SmackDown Live's been doing better than Raw.
Yes,
I
they
like
have.
Oh
They
my
have.
God,
SmackDown
SmackDown's
Live
amazing.
be the number one brand again, being back to its heyday. And as I said, leading up to the draft, well before even the draft was announced to happen on this show and others, that we need something to shake things up. We need a draft. We need SmackDown to go live again. and be like the SmackDown at the beginning with The Rock and Triple H main eventing the first ever SmackDown show,
Hmm.
and have it from its glory days now here with a new era and have things obviously different, but still being awesome, being the same, being a better SmackDown. Because before the draft, to me, I never watched SmackDown. I read all the spoilers on the Tuesday nights what was taped and saw if maybe there was something like a Seth Rollins promo on the beginning of a show. Maybe I'll watch for that. But beyond that, I'm not going to watch SmackDown. But now that it's live and unpredictable and interesting, and the storylines I think they do better on SmackDown Live. WWE Backlash I think is going to do better than WWE Clash of Champions here for the first battle of pay-per-views between each other. Just because I like the way that everything flowed for Backlash, matches getting more time. Um, and even ending before 3 hours. I think it was even 2.5 hours specifically time for WWE Backlash. It ended really super early. And I think if
Hmm.
Clash of Champions and if other pay-per-views moving forward that are brand specific and can attest and stay on that formula and on that blueprint, then I think all the pay-per-views will at least be adequate and be good. Doing the blueprint of Backlash and how that went, the booking to match length and everything, all the booking and everything that had to do with that pay-per-view. All the other ones can do better, but specifically here, for this battle here in September between Backlash and Clash of Champions, I think even no matter how Clash of Champions ends, whether it goes my way or Michael's or Mark's way, of how the finishes to the main event, I don't think it's gonna beat what happened at Backlash, with you have uh, Becky Lynch becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
Hmm.
And you have AJ Styles winning the WWE World Title from Dean Ambrose. I know a lot of people love that. So those moments, Heath Slater and Rhino winning the tag team titles. Heath Slater's over his heck right now too. So I think for me, SmackDown Live moving forward is going to be and should be the better brand, the number one brand in WWE.
And you could definitely piggyback off of that. Recently been looking a lot of stuff up. They said over the past 2 weeks, SmackDown has the better ratings than Raw. Actually, Raw has been declining, and you know they even said to the extent that the USA Network actually called up the corporation and asked what was going on. Like, is there anything happening that may affect the viewership? And you know that's why everybody's leaning on to SmackDown. I actually had a couple people, message me on Twitter saying that they believe SmackDown has the more risky type of storyline, the risky type of superstars. They're not expecting the things that they expect from SmackDown because over the past couple of years, it's been underlooked. It's not been as good as Raw, and now I think it's SmackDown's turn. And I'm agreeing with you, Steve. I actually see SmackDown having better shows than Raw in the near future.
Now, Michael, what are your thoughts on that?
I agree. Like I said before, SmackDown every single Tuesday night now. Before, when I would watch it pre-recorded, I would actually catch it on Hulu because I felt like it was a necessity to watch it since it was a pre-recorded show already. So I'll catch it the
Mm-hmm.
day after. Um, but now it is just completely fresh, and I feel like there's less drama, there's more wrestling, and when there is wrestling, it's polished, it's quality
Yes,
wrestling.
definitely.
It's just fantastic. It just feels like back then I was always a SmackDown fan. I was always a SmackDown guy back then, and I feel like now it's that same exact way. They finally got SmackDown to where it needs to be. They have great talent on that show, and just I mean, it's Mark, you're absolutely right, man. It's crazy that it is getting better ratings than Raw, and I completely, I'm all for it. I mean, when you put two and two together, when you put Raw next to SmackDown, I mean, it's really obvious. I mean, was it 3-4 weeks ago we had that terrible New Day segment with the club, with
Yes.
the old people, the old New Day. I mean,
The old
we
day.
don't need that, the old day. And we don't need that in wrestling, man. We do not need that. Nobody wants to see that. You remember how dead that crowd was? We want to
Yes.
see quality wrestling with fantastic storylines. And I believe that is what SmackDown is bringing to us right now. I mean, that's exactly how I feel. I think SmackDown is the better show. It's going to keep being the better show. And it's just a fresh show at the moment right now.
Definitely.
And I think even with that intro, pretty awesome with SmackDown Live having that fist. I know people wanted the fist back for
I
the
know I did.
setup,
I did.
but at least I think WWE just met us halfway in having it as for the intro video, the
Yeah.
fist for the start of that. So that was pretty cool, at least to me, seeing that little thing visually
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Here we are wrapping up this episode. Is there any other WWE topics that you might want to bring to the table here in this round table? Michael?
Oh.
Oh man, I'm the spot. Shit. Um, honestly, well, a quick question, you guys. What do you really think is gonna be the better show? Do you think Night Champion or not Night Champions, Clash of Champions? I hate they
I
changed
get
that.
confused with that
I,
as
I
well,
hate they
man.
changed that, man. Do you guys think Clash Champions may have a better luck being better than Backlash, or do you think Backlash is still gonna be the better show than Clash of Champions for first SmackDown and Raw pay-per-views?
Uh, I'm gonna have to go with Backlash. I think Backlash is gonna remain one of the top pay-per-views of the month, I guess,
I love
because
Backlash.
yeah, for me it just has so much history with
Yeah,
Backlash. But it's hard because, like I said, not many people are being and not many people are interested in Raw like they were before. And with not many people watching Raw, they're not going to be interested in watching the people who are the champions from Raw. So I feel like they're going to be people who used to watch Raw watching SmackDown more, and then SmackDown is going to be Raw is going to be what SmackDown was. I don't know, 5 years ago when Raw was destroying SmackDown when it came to ratings. I just don't think Clash of Champions is going to compete with Backlash because at this point, Backlash is better. It's the better pay per view, and SmackDown is going to be the better show in the near future.
Yeah, and as I already said earlier, I do think it's gonna be backlash over Clash of Champions just because of with the new championships, our new champions, inaugural champions for the SmackDown Women's title, SmackDown Tag Team titles, and who won them. AJ Styles winning the WWE World title. I mean, you can have the greatest finish and ending for Clash of Champions. I don't think it's gonna rival what happened on SmackDown Live's pay-per-view for me personally. So
Yeah.
as I said earlier, definitely think that's gonna be the way to go there.
gotcha. Oh, and actually, before we do wrap up, I have one more question for you guys. I feel
Uh-huh.
like they are, and I hope they do, because now we have the cruiserweights on Raw. Does anyone else feel like they're going to introduce the hardcore title for SmackDown, which I hope they do?
Oh my God! If they do, I'm telling you right now, SmackDown is going to destroy
I
Raw
know.
They're gonna crush
in
them in 5
every
rounds.
angle.
Yep. I hope they do. I feel like that's what's going to
They're,
happen.
if they bring back that title, it's over. Raw, just stop it.
That's it. No more Raw.
Just no more Raw. The
Rocky,
long
Rocky,
history, Raw's over.
Rocky Cruiserweights will have the hardcore title, and it'd be even more awesome to me personally, nostalgic feelings if they bring back the 24/7 rule for a short time for
I
the hardcore title.
I was just watching a YouTube video back then when Molly Holly was
Yeah, I
being
remember
pinned
that.
by Edge, and everyone. It was just Spike Dudley running in, pinning. If they bring that back, that'd be so fun, man. Everyone loved that.
Yeah, and actually late last night, I was watching because one of my favorite pay-per-views is WWE WrestleMania 2000, for the year 2000 WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Being one of my favorites. Sometimes I get flack for it, but it is my favorite. And the hardcore title match there, you have Pete Gas winning the hardcore championship for a moment there and everything.
yeah.
So matches like that would be nice to have back, and having it exclusive to SmackDown Live, I think, and above everything else, being a 2 hour show. Um, Storylines flowing better, continuity of storylines being better over on SmackDown Live. I think with that and adding the hardcore title over there and the cruiserweights now on Raw, because they really need it for 3 hours of show, SmackDown Live is going to kick Raw's butt.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
What I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
What do you guys think about the SmackDown belts, considering the fact that they are exactly the same as Raw when it comes to the tag team? I do believe, I think it was a tag team. It was it was the women's championship belt. It's the same thing, just different color.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how do you guys feel about that? Because honestly, I feel like they should have, mixed it up a little bit, man. Have a different design. I don't know, anything but the same thing. Because a lot of people were talking about it, and I just wanted to know what you guys thought about it.
Well, I guess I'll go first. For me, I think for in a marketing reason, in that way, in a PR or whatever, it makes better sense to have the titles looking the same between Raw and SmackDown with the different color variations with blue and red for the women's
Uh,
Raw and SmackDown titles and the tag teams, um, with the nickel and the gold and the silver difference between Raw and SmackDown. I think in that way, as much as I understand where you're coming from, Mark, with it not being as creative as they should have been, but I think from WWE's standpoint, in my opinion, I think it worked fine. And I think it is fine because, like I said, in the marketing scheme of it and of just visually, I mean, knowing with Raw and SmackDown, blue brand, red brand, having you actually having Raw versus SmackDown again, then why not have that, especially for the women's title? You have Raw, red, blue, SmackDown. I know it seems very plain and non-creative, but to me, I think it actually being non-creative is actually even more genius than trying to be creative. Because then if you be trying creative, it's just with anything, you're not going to make everybody happy. And if you try to be too
yeah,
creative and you
that's
try to
true.
have a new title for SmackDown Live, and it just people are going to poo-poo it like, oh, I don't know, W Universal Championship. So, in that look, how people crapped on it from day one, stuff like that. If you try to go a little too far, I think that would have uh, been a bad thing too. So even being simplistic, being I guess quote unquote lazy, as some people called it, I think it actually was the genius thing to do.
Um, Honestly, I personally don't mind. To be perfectly honest with you, I like the way the SmackDown belts look. I think the women's blue belt looks absolutely sexy.
It
Um,
does.
and the tag belts look fantastic. I think I never, I don't know if it's just me, I never liked the look of the Raw tag belts. So when they changed the color scheme on the SmackDown belts, I loved them now. I think they look great. But I feel like for Raw's Universal title being red and white, I felt like that got so much flack, way too much flack. I think it deserved, I mean, it didn't deserve that much flack, especially when, and I know Seth Rollins tweeted this. I felt like that the fans were really too raw on the match with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, especially when those guys were trying to put on a hell of a fight and they
And
were
they did.
constantly
And they
they
did.
and exactly they did, and the fans were just focused on that belt. You know what I mean? It just I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't mind the belt. I like the color red anyway. It looks good on Kevin Owens, to be honest, dude. It looks
It
really good
does.
on Kevin Owens.
It
Um,
matches perfectly.
Exactly, it does. But yeah, I don't mind the that it's the same exact belts at all. I mean, it almost makes sense in a way. But yeah, I like the belts. Doesn't bother me any.
Okay, Michael or Mark, any other topics you want to bring to the forefront before we say goodbye to everybody?
Um, you,
If not, that's fine.
I think I have one thing. Did you guys hear about the rumors swirling around that Jeff Hardy may be coming back early 2017?
Really?
Hmm.
Yes, they
Funny you
said.
say that because I heard about that with Matt Hardy.
I don't think Matt Hardy's coming back though. I think it's Jeff
Well,
because Jeff said
Oh,
he wanted to finish his career going against the Undertaker at a Hell in a Cell match
can
at
you
WrestleMania.
imagine?
That would be
yeah,
Oh,
that'd be interesting. But
incredible.
one article that I was reading this afternoon actually was talking about Vince McMahon wanting to have Matt Hardy back in WWE in early 2017, even pitching an idea already to people or to his people of having him being a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble in 2017. So
That
at
would
least
be
that
interesting.
being a rumor
yeah.
on that end from Matt. But I wouldn't mind having both. Why not?
It's the reason I say I don't think it was Matt Hardy because I remember on Twitter it was Triple H and Matt Hardy always having this constant back and forth feud, and I do remember Matt Hardy saying that he wasn't a big fan of Triple H, or he was talking bad about him. I should have screenshotted it, but it was it. I just remember Matt Hardy kind of throwing dirt on Triple H on
Oh,
Twitter, just
okay.
talking about him, and I think that's made that separation between Matt Hardy and the WWE, knowing that Triple H is so close to Vince and I just remember hearing that it was more Jeff Hardy than Matt Hardy because I just remember Jeff Hardy telling people the last match he wanted to do was against Triple H Hell in a Cell, and he said he wanted to swanton bomb off of the cell onto the table. I just remember reading that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Me either.
But oh yeah, well, another match I'd actually want to see would be Matt Hardy versus Randy Orton on SmackDown Live.
Oh, yes,
I think to me would be a pretty good battle beyond Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt.
Absolutely.
brother Nero.
Hey, brother.
Oh man, where did that even come from?
I know.
What were they thinking with that? I don't know what was going on in that
I'm just glad it's a thing now. I'm so happy that it's a thing now.
head. Oh man.
Michael, do you have any more topics bringing forefront?
Just one final question. What do you guys think about the runtime for SmackDown being 2 hours and Raw being 3 hours? Because I personally think 3 hours burns me out so much quicker, and
Yes,
SmackDown
yeah.
at 2 hours is absolutely perfect, and I don't feel ever burned out of that, and it runs fast. I mean, it feels faster. It's going faster than Raw, and it's
Yeah,
just fresher. What do you guys think about the 2 hours versus 3 hours?
I think 2 hours it actually makes it a lot better for people to digest it, to enjoy it, and also with two
Yeah.
hours it actually leaves you to want more. You know, you're watching it go so fast, and you're like, oh wait, it's over already. I want to see more SmackDown Live. Where
Yep.
Raw being 3 hours dragging and trying to drag you, whatever, kicking and screaming to the final hours to the main event. You know, maybe sometimes they have good openings and good endings, but that middle is just they need to fix that.
Absolutely.
Cruiserweights,
Definitely.
but it's still it's not. It's, to me, the cruiserweights is more of a band-aid than an actual fix for Monday
Uh,
Night Raw. So that's why I think SmackDown Live for sure is going to be better because, like I said, 2 hours easier to digest, more enjoyable, and it leaves you wanting more.
yeah, I have to agree with that because if you think about it, 3 hours, the product gets very still. Like you've seen enough already. You know, when SmackDown, I mean, when Raw was 2 hours, it was enjoyable. You couldn't wait to see the next episode. That had drew more and more and more people to watch it. But now that Raw's 3 hours, you're pretty much watching two whole episodes in 1 week. Technically, that's what it feels like because it's just it has segments where it's not even worth watching, in my opinion. You have these short little segments. Other than Chris Jericho, I love watching Chris Jericho do his thing on the mic because he's god at it.
Yeah,
But
baby.
but it's like SmackDown, like you said, Steve. SmackDown, you have the ability to enjoy it more, and when you enjoy it more, you can't wait to see the next episode. So it just keeps you stuck on one brand or the other. Well, for me, I'm right now. I'm definitely feeling SmackDown overall, and I see them, doing their thing.
Palmer asked in the chat for us, what do you guys think of having Bobby Lashley return to WWE?
Whew. Oh man,
What do you
I
think?
see. I see. If Bobby Lashley came, I w- I would like to see him against Brock Lesnar.
Oh shit.
I
Yeah.
feel like that will be a very good match. And it doesn't even have to be for a title match. It could be like Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. I just would love to see them go at it. You know, I feel like Bobby Lashley has been used better in TNA, in my opinion, because he wasn't used properly while he
I
was
agree
up there in
completely, man.
SmackDown.
Definitely.
And it was like, I don't even think he got a no, I think he did get a title shot. But it wasn't as big as it is for TNA. Even though TNA, I believe, is struggling, so they're desperately finding somebody, and they're gonna find somebody who came from a global uh, wrestling enterprise or whatever. I feel like Brock Lesnar against Bobby Lashley will be a epic match, and I would love to see Bobby Lashley come back. Same way I would love to see Shelton Benjamin come back.
Michael?
Well, honestly, I second that. I was literally gonna say pretty much the same exact stuff that he was gonna say. I believe that would be crazy, and if it was a match, I would love to see him in. Just as far as physical, I believe that Brock Lesnar would be his best matchup. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a hell of a match. And hopefully, hope to God they'd actually will let Bobby actually get some, dukes in and actually damage Brock Lesnar, not book Brock to be this godly beast who can't get hurt. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, that'd be a fantastic matchup. I think it'd be awesome.
All right, I guess we'll end it there on that final topic and that nice little note. Um, Thank you, Mike and Michael, for being part of the show. I'll let you guys plug
Hmm.
your stuff, where they can find you on social media, where they can find you here on YouTube. Mark, you can go ahead and go first.
Okay, well, you can find me on YouTube at Mark Rambo. My Instagram is also Mark_Rambo39. And as you said, Steve, my Twitter is, like I said before in the other podcast, a very strange name. So people are gonna have to deal with it. It's Looney Tunes 163. Long story. I'm not gonna get into it, but you could find me there. And if you have any ideas of what you guys want me to talk about on my channel or on the podcast, you guys could hit me up on there. And if you guys want me to react to anything on my channel, just hit me up on there as well.
And you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/raunchy Mikey Vids. That's VIDZ. And on Twitter, you can find me at Raunchy Mikey.
There you go. You also find Raunchy Mikey starting October 3rd on Elena's After Party podcasting episodes. They're on her channel, on Elena, actually the name of the channel. There, you can check Michael there out there and Raunchy Mikey over there on that podcast. Again, I think starting October 3rd, you're gonna have the very first episode because I know OK Fabe, Connor of OK Fabe, is having his final episode this upcoming Monday.
Yeah.
And actually, I just had contact with Connor a couple minutes ago while we were talking here. So hopefully, sometime in the near future, guys, for fans of mine and others, well, and of his, of course, Connor of OK Fabe will be on a podcast episode in the future. Maybe one heading into Survivor Series. Who knows? I just gotta keep watching each and every week. One of the weeks he will be on the episode. Just like you had to wait weeks and weeks for Michael. Wait a little bit for it's okay for Connor of OK Babe to be on the show because finally getting Michael now in this episode worked perfectly. Earlier Michael was talking about timing and everything. The timing of him being able to be on the show for this one worked out for the best. So thank you to everybody that watched live. Thank you to Palmer, LPH is good, and others that were part of the chat. I will be back next week with Talking Package with Steve on Tuesday, right after SmackDown Live ends. I will have my NFL podcast going live here on my channel. I know how that kind of sounds weird. I'm watching wrestling and then I'm going to talk NFL, but it is what it is. For that, hopefully, I'll be able to have Mark of Mark Rambo TV and Raunchy Michael back on the show in the near future. But hey, it's time to go, and why not end it with a theme music that I think everybody is going to enjoy.
God damn it. That was the biggest troll thing I've ever seen. Oh my God.
I got you.
Goddamn Roman.
There you go.
Goddamn Roman. He'll never leave. Oh.
Oh, please.
And to everybody, as always, take care.